My name is Makenzie Kelley, also known as Mack. I'm 18 years old. I'm a competitive Call of Duty player for the New York Subliners. And I'm not afraid to run any role that my team needs, and I'm a submachine gun player.
My name is David Woods. I am a builder, and I'm also a third-class petty officer in the United States Navy. Seabees are the Navy's construction force. We can build anything from shelters to bridges to towers. We never stop training. We build, we fight. That's the simplest way that it has ever been put.
I've always played like Call of Duty since I was young, ever since like my mom got me an Xbox. And then as I found out about like competitive, I was kind of just like hooked on it. I would just started playing way more hours a day and realized like I was getting better and that I can compete at a top level. And so I told my mom, give me like a year to see if I can do something with it. And all the hard work I put in, I'm reaping the benefits.
The thing that caught my eye about this was my grandfather. He was in construction for over 40 years, so I grew up around it. And then I was already in the Navy for 2 years before so we call it striking a rate, so basically picking another job. I like doing construction work, and I work well with my hands, so I knew that was for me.
On our Subliners team, usually we'll get like 3 scrimmages a day, and it's every map, every mode, and we play like 3 of those a day. And then afterwards, if you want, you can get some extra repetitions in on your own. Usually I'm playing like 8 hours a day, probably 6 to 7 days a week.
There's basic training for the Navy, and then our specific rate has an A school, which is basically a tech school for 2 months. Classes each week, basic math, concrete, form work, walls, drywall.
Obviously not every team has like the same game plan, but you'll definitely see a lot of similarities between how teams like to play certain maps and situations. In practice, you work on like what's the best way to play this, or what's the best way to play the situation out. And once you get to the match, you hopefully try to do the same things you were doing in practice.
Your schooling, your training, what you do in your daily life, everything comes together. And if you know how your enemy is going to attack you, then you can plan better and put up defenses in areas that you think they would attack, or more like areas that you would attack if you were offensive.
The most difficult part about becoming good at the game probably was trying to balance playing the game a lot and your life outside of the game. Just grab that one opportunity, and the one chance you get, it could just be all you need. Put in the hours you need to put in, get to that point where you need to be, and just run with every single opportunity you can find and turn your dream into a reality.
To be a good builder takes a lot of skills. You don't just gather it from going to school. It kind of takes what you know, what you learn, and what you get over the years. Obviously, your carpentry, your tool knowledge, being a fast learner, that really helps. There's so many different types of jobs that we could do, so we're always seeing something new. We can go anywhere, build anything, and get the job done.